food for the meal. Jan did all the contacting, Denise didn't do anything. Oh, that's not in there. New business, Lori Fisher presented a letter requesting the withdrawal of Jameson Village, and I have to stick by that because it's not the correct title, from the Small Towns Cooperative Agreement. That's also inaccurate. Patty read the letter to the board. Beth stated she had attended several meetings of the Small Town Cooperative Board, STCB, and believes the board should continue to participate. After some discussion, David moved for the Board of Trustees of the Village of Jameson to continue their membership in the Small Towns Cooperation Board. Natalie seconded, and the motion carried. Public comment. Mary Ann Probert stated this board is being led by the STCB and Agenda 21. Brent Hartman stated the board is not being honest and he does not trust them, and called the board members liars. Mary Miller stated the board said that they were against hiring an OEO. Sue Brote asked for alternatives to an OEO and suggested a group composed of board members, residents, and members of community betterment to discuss other ideas for ordinances and ordinance enforcement officer. Warren Worley talked about the Boston Tea Party and the American Revolution. Board of Trustees comments. Aletha read a statement, see attached, and I don't have that with me. I don't know if I got it or not. To the board and residents regarding the board's responsibility to residents and the necessity of ordinances. Beth reminded everyone trunk and treat at the school on Halloween. There being no further business, Patty asked for a motion to adjourn. Aletha moved to adjourn. Natalie seconded. The motion carried. The meeting adjourned at 7:59. Respectfully submitted to Denise Galen, clerk. Now, that one line up there about David, it should be the September meeting. That's a correction there. At the October meeting, David, it should be the September, because I do think it was a September meeting that came up, but I can't be positive. Do you remember for sure?
No.
Well, it was the meeting before that one, so.
Yeah, well, the October one was
When
a
did we have
special
ours?
meeting, and that was really quick and over. That was the
No,
agreement.
but one with David's article.
November 12th. November 12th.
So then we'll have to back up from there.
Yeah, it would be the September meeting.
Yeah.
So we need to make a correction. It says at the October meeting, and it would be the September meeting, because this is the October meeting's minutes. So it should be September.
I move the correction.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I also
Wait a second.
have a correction.
Wasn't mine.
Hang on. David, did you who moved to a,
Beth.
Beth moved, I seconded.
okay, I knew you were both there.
What did we just vote on?
Amending the minutes. We haven't
Oh.
voted yet.
Okay, I got it. Okay. Got that. Any other corrections?
Approve, do I have a motion to approve the minutes for this October meeting?
I make a motion, we approve.
No,
the-
I had a correction,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I thought I said that. The trunk or
Okay.
treat was not at the school, it was in this building, right?
Oh, okay.
In downtown Jameson.
Okay.
Sorry. It's like the
Trunk or
switch.
treat was,
You said at the school and.
at Lions Hall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
I move the approval of the correction. You want to vote on
All in favor?
we got a second.
I didn't thought we had a second.
Okay. This is the correction on the
Correction, the
Lions Hall.
second correction.
You're right, we should have got both of them.
All in favor?
it? Aye.
Aye.
Now we have to.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, now we have to approve the minutes as presented.
That's
That's
correct.
correct.
Motion
Yeah.
to approve the corrected minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes and corrections, or the corrected minutes, however you want to play it.
Have a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Bill for discussion and approval. This is last. Turn that over to you.
Slide everything north.
What?
Do you want me to read it first, or do you want to?
your preference.
Eventually.
Eventually, it has to be read twice, so.
All right, how about we do a first reading? First reading of Bill 2014-20, amending Section 1 of Ordinance 2012-03, Board of Trustees and Chair, to update the qualifications for trustee pursuant to recently enacted Missouri law.
Okay, as I think by now you probably already know, there were a number of changes to election law made at the, pretty close to the end of the last session of the legislature. There were a couple of bills, HB 1136 and SB 593. What I'm presenting to you comes from HB 1136. I was going to brief you on SB 593, but I see by your agenda that Beth has that. So I'll wait till after that and then chime in afterwards on that if there's anything that I have to offer on it. But what's before you is simply a change to the qualifications for people who run for the Board of Trustees. The legislature determined that they wanted the law as it applies to larger, other entities to apply to municipalities. And so they made some changes, and the result for Board of Trustees qualifications are shown on F and G of your copy of this bill. Hopefully you have it. Everybody's got it?
You got yours? Did you print yours out?
It says right at the top, Bill 2014-20.
I got an extra copy floating around here.
4-20, is that?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And all of the language that's on here is current in your ordinance except for the strikeouts and bolds. What has changed is that the payment of municipal user fees no longer is a disqualifier for running for board office, but instead the state has replaced it with not being delinquent in the filing or payment of any state income taxes, personal property taxes, municipal taxes, or real estate taxes on his or her place of residence. And also that the person can't be a present or past corporate officer of any fee office that owes any taxes to the state other than those taxes that may be in dispute. And fee offices are the driver's license offices, and there's one other that is not coming to me at the moment. But unless you were a corporate officer, one of those, you need not worry about it. Nevertheless, it is a qualification. There are a couple of other things that aren't in this that I just wanted to make you aware of. There's some issues with running for two offices at the same election, but they're not entirely clear, and you are not responsible for policing them, so they don't need to be in the qualifications. That is a matter that would have to be handled by the county clerks and others. So that's all there is to it. Now, you also have, just go ahead and tell you about both of them because they're the same. You also have before you, as your next item of business, a declaration of candidate for a trustee, and it's changed in the same way. So if you approve the ordinance, and it is required by law as far as what the qualifications are, then your declaration of candidacy would be changed accordingly, and it serves as good notification to the candidates as to what is actually expected. So, are there any questions with regard to the ordinance?
Well, I notice it says on the declaration form, I am not currently aware of any delinquency in filing or payment of any state income tax, blah, blah, blah. But the packet that we have sends in and has to verify that. So all you need to file is just to say I'm not aware of it. But then it gets verified later, I guess, by the state.
Yes, the state is in, you're talking about that Form 5120,
Okay.
and that's what this is related to. The state, the Department of Revenue is where you send that it's an affidavit is what it actually is. And you send it to the Department of Revenue, and they are responsible for verifying it, and if there are any complaints with regard to it, they are responsible for enforcing it.
But they only enforce
So-
the state portion of it, right?
This is they enforce it all.
So
They
they
enforce it
check
all.
the personal property
Yes,
taxes?
that's a change. They enforce it all. Now, I do not, my opinion